What's up, dolls? Welcome back to the channel for another speed build. So today I'm doing my first Halloween build of the year. Well, actually, it's probably not the first one you guys see. I think I'll have another Halloween build up before this one, but it's the first one that I build. So very excited. And if you know me, you know that seriously I love this time of year so much. I freaking love Halloween and making Halloween builds and just like creepy builds in general. It's my thing. I love it. But this year, like, I don't know, I kind of felt like I had done it already. Like, I didn't have that many good new ideas. My mind has been pretty blank lately. Like, I feel like I've done it all. I've done a ton of Halloween builds previous years, so it was really hard coming up with something new. And so I asked you guys if you had any ideas for me where you wanted to see me build, and I got so many replies from you guys, so many good ideas. Thank you so much for that. I can't do all of them, of course, but I will do as many as I can. And the idea for today's build came from one of you guys. It came from Amelia, who said to build a haunted street. And when I saw this comment, you bet I was really quick to decide on this idea, because I have done a lot of like street builds and neighborhood kind of builds before, and I love making them, and you guys seem to love them. And I've done like a whole bunch of different themed ones. Like I've done a gated community, I've done a witch neighborhood, and a mid-century modern street, and so on. I've done a ton of them, and I'll link them all down below in the info box if you guys want to check them out if you haven't seen them already. But I've done so many of them, but I haven't done a haunted neighborhood before, and I love the idea. I think it's really cool. I think it's perfect for Halloween, and I really love this idea. So thank you so much for suggesting this, and I hope it's fine like that I decided to do a residential street. I can of course do other street builds too if you guys want to see that, like shopping streets or whatever. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, today we're building a residential street. We're building a neighborhood, a haunted neighborhood, but also kind of like a haunted abandoned neighborhood, because these houses, I don't think anyone is living in them. At least no one living is living in them, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm building. And one thing I really wanted for this build, like I really wanted it to look like your typical suburban street, you know, typical suburban neighborhood, because so many Halloween builds and haunted builds in general are built in the old Victorian style, and I have done that too. Like the witch street that I did, that was all Victorian houses. I've done a haunted house before that was Victorian, and Victorian builds in general, like they do look really creepy just by default, at least in my opinion. Like the design of them just makes them look really creepy and all that, you know. So I guess that's why they're creepy. Like they are usually old too, like actually old. They just don't look that they are old because it's an old design. You know what I mean? So they are perfect for haunted houses. Like that style is perfect for it. But I feel like it's been done so much. Like if you type in Sims 4 haunted house or just haunted house in general, you'll see all these like Victorian houses, and it looks cool, but I wanted to make something different. I wanted to see if I could make more modern houses look creepy. And I'm not saying these are modern, but they are obviously, they're traditional, but they're not like Victorian. So I wanted it to feel like your typical street, your neighborhood street, if you know what I mean. Like it's supposed to be a more modern suburban street that has been abandoned and now is haunted and looks creepy. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. But I didn't want to do any more Victorian houses. I might do that later on, I don't know, but I feel like it's been done so much. So no Victorian houses in this build. But traditional, I think it's fine, and I think it actually ended up looking creepy, at at least at night it does look creepy. But when I think of haunted, like I don't necessarily think of old Victorian houses, because like any house can be haunted. So that's what I tried to do with this build, and I really hope that made sense. I tried to make these houses look not necessarily old, but new, but have been abandoned for a while, but not for that long, you know. Anyway, so I'm building 5 houses in total, as you can see. I've done all the plans for them already, but I'll of course go back to each and one of them a few times and add wallpapers and details and all that stuff. So I'm done with the exterior though, as you can kind of see the layout. It's very typical to my other neighborhood layouts. I really like this layout. I think it works perfectly, and this is actually built on a 50 by 50, so you don't necessarily need any packs to place this. I went and looked at like all the 64 by 64 lots for this build, because I kind of wanted it to build it on a 64 by 64. Seriously, I can't talk. Yeah, I really wanted to build it on a 64 by 64, but all the 64 by 64s we do have are in worlds that aren't necessarily good for this build. Like it's weird to place them in Get Famous, for example. I don't think this build fits in that world. So in the end, I decided to build it on a 50 by 50, and I'm actually in Willow Creek. So I'm building this. There's 2 50 by 50s in Willow Creek, and I'm building this on like the mountainside one. I'm not sure if this is on a mountain though, but it's on the left side of the map. It's not the park one, it's the other one. So that is where I'm building this. And as I said, or at least I think I said this, but I'm building 5 houses in total. So from the left side, the first house on the left, that is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and the second one on the left that ended up as a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and from the right side, the first one closest to the road is a 2-bed, 2-bath, and the second one is a 3-bed, 2-bath. And then the middle house is a 2-bed, 1-bath, but that house is also kind of broken. It's been half demolished or something. It's falling apart. That's what I tried to make it look like is happening. I tried to make it look like it's either like falling apart, or it's been demolished, or they started demolishing it but didn't finish or something. This whole place is supposed to be a mystery. You don't really know what's going on here, and I thought it was really fun to add a house that is falling apart for that reason, but no one knows why it's falling apart, and no one knows why this street is abandoned or haunted. Like something went on here and no one really knows what. Or I'm sure some people know, the people that lived here maybe probably knows if they're still alive, you know. But this whole place is supposed to be a mystery, and that's why I made that middle house look the way it looks, but it's supposed to look like it's falling apart or being demolished or something. And I thought that was a really fun idea. Well, it's really hard to do that, but I hope it looks like it's falling apart. So yeah, 5 houses in total, and if you do want to live here for some reason, those are like the house plans. There's the bedrooms and bathrooms. But the whole plan for this build is not for your Sims to live here. I know I'm gonna get this question, but you're not necessarily supposed to move your Sims in here unless you really want to. I mean, you could, if you play with Ghost Family, you could live here maybe, or something like that. But it's not, I didn't make this neighborhood for your Sims to live here. Like all my other neighborhoods are made for your Sims to live there. But this one is supposed to be more of, well, for one, a decorative lot that you can place that is just creepy to have in your game if you want that, if you want to add it to your storyline for some reason. But also I made it's like a great place for your teenage Sims to come here and throw parties at Halloween or something. because that's what teens do, right? So the middle house, that house, I actually kind of pictured to be a house that teenagers have been to for the reason, like during Halloween, for the reason to party, because it's creepy. You want to go there on Halloween, have fun with your friends, get a little bit scared, and have some juice, you know. So I actually do add a bunch of stuff in that house that so it looks like teenagers have been there. They've painted graffiti on the walls because you know, teenagers, and there's like empty cups and stuff in there. So it looks like teenagers have been there. And have had parties there. So that's what I did. Oh, what happened to my voice there? That's what I did with the middle house. The other houses have been sort of left alone. They are just creepy, but they are not fully furnished. Like it looks, they all look mysterious. Like it almost looks like the people living here quickly packed up all their stuff and left, or something went down here, and it's just a very mysterious street, and of course teenagers would be interested in that, so they would have come here probably on Halloween. It's a great place to go on Halloween to get yourself scared, because it's so mysterious and creepy and all that. So that's kind of my thought behind this neighborhood, and also it's probably really good for specific storytelling purposes and all that. So that is kind of the point of this build, and not necessarily for you to move your Sims in here, but you can renovate this, you can make it beautiful again. I don't know, but I thought I would give a little bit of a backstory as to what I thought when I was building this. And it kind of reminds me of this house that we have in my city, or it's outside in a very rural place. But there's this house very close to where I live that has been abandoned, and it's so freaking creepy. It's falling apart. It looks very old. It has been abandoned. I don't know who owns it. And inside, like, a lot of teenagers have been there, specifically on Halloween, and they have thrown parties there. And if you go inside, you will see that they have also painted graffiti on the walls and all that, which I think it's sad. Like, you can't go there and not like destroy the house. That'd be great. They have smashed like windows and stuff too. That's just sad, but it's a very creepy house, and of course that draws a lot of people that enjoy creepy houses and exploring them, and also teens that just wanna get themselves scared and have fun, I guess. So I kind of thought of that house as I was building this, because it's kind of cool. I have been there, and it's very creepy. But yeah, anyway, so as I said, like, it's supposed to look abandoned. So with landscaping here, I'm gonna make it look very overgrown, because obviously no one is here to take care of the garden. No one is here to trim the bushes or mow the lawn. So it's supposed to look very overgrown and just left alone for some time. And as you can see with like the wallpapers, I did add some decals that makes it look like the wallpapers are falling apart and the stone is cracking. And it's not that old, but if you leave a house alone, and if you leave like the gardens alone, this will happen pretty quickly with new houses. So it's been left for a little while, and I just really love how this turned out. Like, it looks very spooky, especially at like nighttime and in fall time. So I don't know, I'm very, very happy with this build, and I really hope you guys will like this too, because I love it, and I had a ton of fun with this. I really, really do love making these sort of neighborhood builds and street builds. So if you guys have more ideas for these, it doesn't have to be Halloween themed. But if you guys want to see more neighborhood builds or just street builds, let me know in the comments if you have any like theme ideas or anything like that, because I absolutely love making these type of builds, and this is actually one of my favorites. My favorite neighborhood build is probably the gated community that I did. I think that looks absolutely stunning, and it's very different to what I usually build. Like, it's so over the top and posh and all that, so it was fun doing that. It's very bougie. I built that one in the Get Famous world. I forget the name of it. It's the one that's supposed to look like Los Angeles, that world, and it fits just perfectly in there, and it was very fun doing that. But I also had a ton of fun with this because, as I said, as you might know, I love doing creepy builds. So this is definitely one of my favorite builds that I have done. It was very fun. And anyway, I guess I should give you guys a little bit of an update also on my real life situation, like the renovations and stuff, because as you may know, I'm currently not at home. I'm not living at home because the landlord is renovating my apartment. They have completely demolished my bathroom, and they are redoing it, and they're redoing all the pipes, like the piping system thing. So there's also pipes in my kitchen that they have exchanged or something. Like, I'm not a builder. I don't know how, or a plumber. I don't know how these things work really. But they are changing all the pipes, and they have done the pipes now. So I do have new pipes. But my bathroom is still just a concrete room. Like, there's nothing really in it. But they have put in the pipes, and they have put in new concrete. So it actually looks like they're getting somewhere. And they have sealed the big hole in my kitchen floor right now, because they had to open up my kitchen floor to reach the pipes. So they have like sealed all that, and I think I'm getting new floors and all that soon. I think they are on time schedule. I'm not really sure. They said it was gonna take, like, the bathroom was gonna take 3 weeks, and we are 2 weeks in. Like, when I upload this, it's gonna be Friday. It's Thursday today. So I went home today actually, and they said 3 weeks. We are 2 weeks in, so after next week they should be done. And it's kind of hard to believe because I went home today, as I said, and I looked at my bathroom, and it's still just a concrete room. There's only really concrete and some pipes in there, but I don't know how long this takes, but I think they're pretty quick once they get all, like, the pipes done and all that. And I think they're done with the pipes, so next week they should actually start putting in, like, the floors and the walls and the plumbing. So yeah, I hope they are on time schedule, and after next week I should have a bathroom again, and that feels so freaking nice. And then they also have to change and put in new floor in my kitchen, and I really hope they can be done next week. And I don't know, you guys. I feel like this is a bad update because I don't really know these kind of things and what they need to get done and all that, but hopefully the update is that hopefully by the end of next week they are done with my bathroom and I can move back home. Really hoping that is the case, but we'll see. I am doubting it a little bit from looking at the bathroom, the current state of my bathroom, if you can call it that. But yeah, we'll see. I'm crossing my fingers they're gonna be done because I miss my apartment. I want to move back home. But yeah, anyway, that's where we are at. I guess I can throw in a little bit of a picture here so you guys can see what my bathroom looks like right now. And yeah, we'll see. But hopefully I can move back home next week. I'm really hoping so because my birthday is coming up pretty soon, and I really kind of want to have a apartment to throw a little bit of a party and invite my family over, you know. So I'm hoping they're gonna be done, and I've said that like a million times. I'm sorry, but that is the update, I guess, on my renovations, and I am so tired. I just want my apartment. Anyway, guys, let's get back to the build a little bit. So I decided to start with furnishing this middle house, or the house by the end of the street. This is the house that is sort of like falling apart or is being demolished or whatever. We don't really know. And obviously I've left, they're all supposed to look abandoned. Like there's not supposed to be a lot of stuff in here. It's not supposed to be fully furnished. But obviously I've left some stuff. You wouldn't really take your bathtub with you. So obviously I've left all those kind of stuff in the houses. Like there are fully furnished bathrooms, because you wouldn't really take those things with you if you had to leave quickly or if something happened. Like those kind of things would be there. So All the houses do have fully furnished bathrooms and also kitchens, because that's also something you wouldn't really take with you. But for this house though, the kitchen is not fully intact. I guess they are in the other houses, but this house is it's supposed to look like it's falling apart, as I said like a million times. So the kitchen in this house is not like fully intact, and some things are missing. But as you can see, I'm putting up a lot of graffiti here because I thought this is a house where all the teenagers come to. It's obviously the creepiest house because it's falling apart. So this is the house where all the teenagers have been to. They've painted graffiti on the walls. They've left these empty mugs everywhere from the parties. And what else do I add in here? I added a stereo in here. So this would be like the perfect place to bring your Sims on Halloween, or your younger Sims for a party, for a Halloween party or something like that. It's very creepy at night, and I think it looks really cool. So yeah, you can see I put in a lot of empty mugs because there's been a lot of parties here and big parties and all that. And I think I'm just gonna add a stereo now, and then I'm gonna be done with this house and move on to the others that are more intact than this one. But I really love this, and I thought it was a really fun idea to make this into a sort of like teen hangout spot. And yeah, oh, I also added some pizza because why not? It's gonna go bad and it's gonna look cool. But yeah, that was the house at the end of the street, and we have moved on. I think this is the first house on the left that I'm furnishing right now. And as you can see, this kitchen is way more intact, and it's gonna be pretty empty in here though, because as I said, like it's supposed to look like everyone has just left. It's just been abandoned really quick, or something happened really quickly, and it's supposed to look empty, but obviously a few things would still probably be in here. And as I said in the beginning of the video, all houses, they do have different layouts and different amount of rooms and all that, so you'll see that as I furnish them. But one thing that I was really struggling with that I don't show you guys in the video is the fog, because you can see there's some fog here. I cut all of this out because I was having so much trouble with this mist emitter that we do have in the game. There is an emitter that you can put down and it will emit fog or mist, and it looks really cool. I used it in all my previous Halloween builds from previous years, and it just leaves this fog on the ground, and it looks way more spooky that way, obviously, because fog is creepy. Not really sure why, but it's creepy as heck. So I really wanted to cover the entire ground with fog, but there's a bug with the fog, or a glitch, and the fog will just not stay on the ground floor. Like, it works perfectly fine for the second floor and the third floor and in basements, but the fog will not stay on the ground floor. I don't know why. It's a glitch. It's a known glitch. It's been a known glitch this entire year. Like, I googled this if there was any solutions to it, because I really wanted to cover the entire ground with, like, the outside with fog and also inside the houses, but it's not possible. I googled it to see if there were any solutions to this, but all I saw was so many people having this exact same problem, and it has not been fixed. And I saw posts from like April this year, so it's been a problem for a while. I didn't know about it, but I'm really bummed about it, because like the fog, it adds so much to Halloween builds. It makes it so much more creepy. And I'm just so sad that I cannot have fog on the ground outside, because it would have looked so spooky, so nice and creepy, and I don't know what to say, guys. I hope it gets fixed, but it's already Halloween, so I don't think they're gonna have a fix anytime soon. So maybe for next year's Halloween videos, I'll have fog for them, but this year we're gonna have to deal with fogless builds, and I'm really sad. Like, as you can see, it works on the second floor just fine, but if you place it and want it to go outside on the ground, it just floats up into the air and it just doesn't stay, and it's sad. And I was so angry when I found this out. Like, I was looking through Google for like an hour trying to see if there was any fix to this, but there's not. And I'm sad, guys. So no fog on the ground. But just imagine how cool that would have looked. It would have been so great. Anyway, we are almost done with this build, and I don't think I have that much more to say about it, but as always, I am not using any CC at all in this video. I am using some debug items though, but no CC as always. And if you do want to download this place, you can find it on the gallery by searching for my username CyberdollYT, and you can also find this build under the hashtags Cyberdoll and CyberdollYT, and enable move objects before you place this, because I use that a whole ton in this build. So enable that before you place it to make sure everything is placed properly and all that. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end, like, I love you. Thank you so much. Dedication. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I'd be so happy if you do. And yeah, thank you guys again so very much for watching. I'll have more Halloween builds coming soon. And I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in my next video.
My hands are tied, and you resonate inside my bones. Don't know why I'm incapable while you're unstoppable. Some big black clouds, the unavoidable is raining down. I'm fading out into an endless hole. When you come, everything just turns around. I get stunned by your drum. I follow you into the sun. Shoot a race like a shotgun. You gotta be my someone. I was so lost, like a vagabond with no home, moving on into the wilderness of my emptiness. I let go faith while the time was running out for me. There's no escape from the mess I made. But when you come, everything just turns around. I get stunned by your drum. I follow you into the sun. Shoot a race like a shotgun. You gotta be my someone. When you come, everything just turns around. I get stunned by your drum. I follow you into the sun. Shoot a race like a shotgun. You gotta be my someone.